Welcome to Definitely Not Funny. Actually, the least funny person I know. Well, hi, Leah.
Hi.
Welcome to Definitely Not Funny.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So excited to have you. You're a pop singer.
I am.
I think you're a pop star in my mind.
Thank you.
I'm obsessed with your music.
Oh, thank you.
I tell people I have two moods. I have like Aritzia and Taylor Swift, and I have Princess Polly and Leah Kate. And,
Oh my God.
Those
Love
are
it.
two different personalities.
Thank you.
So you grew up in California. Did you always know you wanted to pursue music?
Yeah, like since from before I can remember, I remember just like laying in bed, like seeing pop stars on TV and just being like, I want to do that too. But I never thought it was like a real thing that could happen because it was always very like you needed a label. It was like before TikTok, it was really hard to like have like an actual music career, I feel like, without a record label. So I never thought it was reality. It was like a thing I did in my room with my brother my whole life, and we just made songs on GarageBand, and then like it actually became a real thing, which was kind of crazy and weird, but yeah.
So fun. Do you still do it with your brother?
Yeah, we still work a lot.
Oh my God. He's a producer?
Yeah, he is.
That's special.
Yeah.
Is he older or younger?
He's younger.
When was the moment though that you were like, okay, I'm going to pursue music full time as a career?
So I always knew it deep down. I was like, one day I'm going to like figure out how to do this. Cause like my parents were in radio, but like no one had any music industry connections. I didn't know how to like start a career in it, but I always knew I'd figure it out. And I think it's when I went to like, I got my first job and I was like, I'm literally never going to be happy doing anything, like working for anyone else, doing any job. Like the only thing that will actually make me happy is like pursuing a music career and like doing what I love. And there's just nothing else I wanted to do. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to fucking do my music career. And I like got fired from all of my jobs that I ever had. That I was still pursuing music during like, but I needed to like have a salary, obviously. And like I was living in New York. You can't be like an aspiring singer-songwriter in New York City. Like you need to have like a salary. So I had a bunch of jobs that would just like pay my bills while I was just in the studio and stuff working on music, but I literally got fired from everything because everyone was like, you don't want to be here. And so I lost every job, and then finally I was like, fuck this, I'm just gonna move back to my parents' house in LA and like not have a job and work on music and actually give it my all, because nothing else makes me happy and I'm not good at anything else. So
how many years of working those random jobs?
Probably like only 3, but that's still a really long time. Yeah.
What type of jobs were you working like?
I had first started working, I worked at a Pilates studio. Then I worked at a startup, which was like an app that basically, it was a concierge app, and it was amazing for me because I didn't have to go into the office. It wasn't like, it was a remote job, and I just had to sell the app to people. And so I would like do it in my sleep. It was so easy. And then I would go to the studio all day and like work on music. And then every Friday I was like, new songs coming out, guys, like, you know, I have a show coming up. They'd be like, what is this girl doing? And then they ended up firing me. They wanted to fire me forever, but they couldn't do it just because I was like writing songs. Like you can't fire someone that's
for
fucked
having
up.
a hobby.
Yeah. And then finally I kind of did something really stupid once, and this record label executive always let me use his studios for free, and he was like, all I want to do is go to this restaurant called Fort Charles, which is the hardest restaurant to get into in New York. And I was like, don't worry, I got it, I'll get the reservation. And I basically schemed reservation. It was really unprofessional and terrible of me, but I did something kind of really dumb to get it, and like the company found out, and since they're a concierge shop, they're like, this is a terrible look for us, we're firing you. But I was like, honestly, this is I was so sad because I was like, I have to leave New York. I can't afford to live here anymore. I have to go move with my parents. Like, I'm not getting another job. It's just like I keep getting fired, and it's just not like whatever. So I moved home, and yeah, that was it.
Were you scared?
I was kind of like excited. I was just like, you know what? It was the start of the pandemic, and I was kind of scared. Yeah, I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to make this work. But I like knew I would. I don't know. Somewhere deep down, I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Like, whatever.
And so then after you decided to go home, how long was it until you started like getting traction and kind of making money and being able to realize like, whoa, Leah, you're doing it?
Honestly, really soon. I just started, I moved back in January of 2020, right before the pandemic. And
fun.
Yeah.
You kind of timed that well.
Oh my God, it was so perfect, the timing, because I would have came back anyways. I wouldn't have stayed in New York by myself. I came back, and I probably came back in January, and then in June I released my song Fuck Up the Friendship, and I was like, I'm going to make this viral on TikTok. Like, I don't care what happens. Like, I literally spent all summer messaging creators being like, hey, can you use my song? And finally it actually started going viral, and I was like, oh my god. And then this guy named Alexis Ohanian reached out to me, who like founded Reddit, and he's like a tech icon who wanted to invest in an artist, and he was like, hey, I really like your song Fuck Up the Friendship, like let's talk about me investing in you. And I was like, oh my god, I need money to like market this is great. And we actually ended up partnering, and like I blew up the song, and it got really big on streaming for a second, and it was viral on TikTok, and it was like kind of crazy. And then I started meeting with all these labels, and it was like I got all this attention, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? This is insane. And so that happened, and I actually didn't sign to a label. Then like a year later, the song called Fuck You Anthem started going on TikTok, and it literally got like 1 million videos under the sound, and I was like, oh my god, what is going on? And then I booked the Madison Beer Tour, which was like a huge thing for me. That was so exciting to go open for her. And then like 2 weeks before, I released a song called Dear Denny, and then I was just like wasn't doing anything, and I was like, okay, no one whatever. My fans loved it, but it wasn't like viral or anything, and I was like, I'm gonna tease a song called 10 Things I Hate About You. I just have like a big feeling about it. I like wrote it, and I was like, Dad, I feel like this is a hit, like I'm gonna tease it. And I teased it, and within minutes it was like millions of views. And my manager at the time was like, you shouldn't put this out, you're gonna cannibalize your release like from a week ago. Like Dear Denny's gonna get fucked up, like why would you do this? And I was like, I'm really sorry. I was like uploading it to DistroKid, which is what I use to deliver my songs to Spotify. I was like, I'm not listening to you, I'm really sorry, this song's coming out.
Like, that's and really too bad.
Yeah, like I'm really sorry about the other release, like people will hear it if they want to hear it. And then I released 10 Things, and then it was getting literally millions of streams a day and just went absolutely insane. And that was kind of the moment that I was like, whoa, okay. Yeah. This is really scary.
Yeah. It's a fantastic song. All of your songs. I'm like obsessed. I Fuck Up the Friendship is how I found you.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god, where'd you find it?
It was one of my friends whenever we would go out. So I don't drink, so I always drive. And so we make like my car a little party whenever we're going somewhere. And Fuck Up the Friendship's the song that like immediately we put on, and it's
my god,
okay, we're having a night.
Stop. I love that.
Oh
song. My god, thank you.
Oh my god, upset. And then I found all your other music, and I was like, wait,
stop.
She's so cool.
What are your faves?
Oh, I love Boys Like You.
Oh my god,
My
love
Bed.
That one.
Obsessed.
Oh.
10 Things I Hate About You, obviously.
Oh,
Fuck Up the Friendship. Veronica, like I could go through. I'm not joking.
Thank
I'm like
you.
obsessed with you.
Oh my god,
in
love
a
you.
very not creepy way. Because I'm not like an old dude.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Not weird. Okay, so you sing a lot about breakups and like empowerment post breakup, and I think you spin breakups in like a very positive way, honestly. Breakup season. What is it?
Breakup season. Yeah.
Was there like a major breakup or two that really inspired this for you, or you just like, no, fuck you guys, I'm making songs?
Oh my god, yeah, no, it was like just like me dating so many of the most terrible people, and I was always so like hung up over these stupid guys that I let control my emotions so much. Like my whole world would revolve around like, you know, someone, just like a guy, and like these like wanting to make someone like me again, or needing to get over someone, and I just like let like relationships and boys like take over my life for a second, and I was definitely dating like the worst people ever, that's for sure. But yeah, I would always let myself kind of get like really sad and like hung up over these guys and these things not working, and I always wanted to find a way to like help myself get over it and like move on, and like writing these songs to feel empowered definitely really helped me, and I hope they help other people. But like 10 Things I Hate About You, for instance, was really me just like being so sad over someone, and I wrote down everything I hated about the person to like help myself get over him. And then I was like, this is like a good song idea, and it started as a list of 100 things, and then I was like, let's narrow it to 10.
This poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy.
So funny. He probably deserved it.
Yeah, right. So I definitely dated the worst people, and just I really loved going for anyone who was so bad for me.
Why do you think?
I think I just loved like the chase.
Yeah.
And I hate going, like, anyone who would like me, I would never like back. It'd be like, too easy, like, I don't need that. But anyone who, like, didn't give me attention, oh my God, like, my husband, I'm like, oh my God, you're everything. And I don't think I'm really like that as much anymore, but I definitely went through a period where I just loved to date trash. Like,
trash on the street, bring it in.
Like, if I could sense the breakup before the relationship started, I was like, oh, you're it, let's go.
That's so funny. Has anyone ever, like, reached out to you, like, with 10 things I hate about you? Did the guy ever be like, Leah, what the fuck?
So a lot of guys actually
you're like, buddy, it's not
that.
about all of you.
Yeah, right? Like, people love to think it's about them, especially because it's my biggest song. And I'm just like, guys, like, relax. Like, I think, like, the person who it's really about knows it's about him, but a lot of others think it's about them. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, you actually didn't get me that, like, hung up over you. Like, relax.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone going through a breakup?
Just to know that, like, you're gonna laugh about it in a few months, and everything, I feel like, really does happen for a reason. And one day you're gonna look back at that person and be like, no, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Like, the universe has a way of, like, working itself out. So just be like, okay, cool, this person's not meant to be in my life. Like, laugh at it and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I've had relationships where, like, when it ended, I was like, this is the end of the world. And now looking back, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
Yeah,
like, it's not.
No.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
You also sing a lot about, like, toxic relationships. Are you willing to, I guess you kind of did touch on that a bit, about how you pick guys who aren't fantastic for you.
Oh, yeah.
But how do you, like, recognize something's pretty toxic, and how do you get out?
Like, I feel like it's an intuitive thing. I'm like, this is so unhealthy. Like, you know when something's not good. And there were times where I'd have, like, the most toxic boyfriends who were, like, so controlling and crazy. And I'd be like, oh, they just care about me. But it's like, no, this isn't, you know, in, like, your gut when it's bad. And just because, like, you miss someone or, like, someone doesn't mean you need to, like, be in a toxic, terrible situation. So usually, like, my intuition knows. I'm like, this is bad.
Yeah.
And let's get out. Yeah.
I get that. They're switching back to kind of music industry. There's really, like, I feel like nothing easy about the path you're on and kind of the journey you're taking in the industry. Do you ever get discouraged, and how do you stay motivated?
Definitely. All the time I get discouraged and, like, compare myself to other people, and will see what, like, you know, way bigger artists than me are doing, and then I'll be like, oh, why aren't I there yet? But then sometimes I just need to, like, take a look at the small wins and be like, okay, look what I've done. Like, this is, like, where I'm at is actually amazing, and I'm really proud. And I literally started at nothing and, you know, had no help getting here. And, like, you have to just appreciate the small wins, because every day I'm like, oh my God, I wish I was doing this. Oh my God, I'm a flop. Like, even when 10 Things was peaking and at, like, top 15 radio, I was like, it's not a number one. Like, I'm a flop. And I know. So I'm really hard on myself and constantly need to, but then sometimes I feel really empowered. I'm like, oh my God, I'm killing it. This is great. Like, I definitely go through, like, mood swings all the time. Like, one day I'm like, oh my God, I'm the best. And then the next day I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything. When's my next tour? Like, I have nothing going on. So I think it's normal. I don't know if it's normal, but that's definitely, every day's different.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally get that. What advice would you give to someone who is looking to get into music and is like, I want to pursue a career in music, I'm fucking scared?
Oh my God, I would just say, like, go for it. Do not care what anyone thinks. Because for years I was like, oh my God, I care so much what people think. What if people don't like this song? And, like, it held me back for so long. And then the moment that I was just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just gonna, like, you only live once. Go after what you want. Do not take no for an answer ever. Like, pound down doors. The amount of annoying emails I sent and doors I had to knock down to just, like, get people to notice me and, like, help me out. And I just think, like, be shameless and, like, just go after it, and don't give a fuck. Put your songs out. Don't listen to anyone, because a lot of people just really don't know. And if I listened to a lot of people throughout my career, I wouldn't be here right now. I feel like you have to just listen to your gut, and not people who, like, think they know what they're talking about, because there's a lot of people who think they know that they don't. So just, like, listen to yourself and, like, follow your instincts and put out songs. Just go. You don't need a label. Put it up. You can do whatever you need.
You're on your own now.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You just got back from a tour opening for Haley Kiyoko. Like, for people listening, what's it like, myself included, what's a day in the life like on tour? Is it different as an opener versus a headliner? And, like, literally what do you do in the day?
Oh my God,
Like,
yeah.
do you sleep all day until the concert?
So I am not really a sleeper. I'm a sleeper in the sense that I'm a grandma. Like I'll go to bed really early and wake up at like 6 a.m. But I don't sleep all day. Actually on tour I do sleep later. I'll sleep until like 10, but I wouldn't consider 10 all day.
No.
Usually I'm just like I wake up, I get ready, I'll like post social media stuff, get like all that lined up, whatever, and then I have to get to the venue around 2 to sound check and load in and just get my stuff in the dressing room, and then if it's my headline, I have meet and greet at like 5, and then get ready, and then showtime. So it's actually like the days are pretty busy. I would say headlining is way more stressful and a lot more pressure because it's my show. It's like even when my whole UK tour was sold out, I was like, oh my God, is anyone gonna come tonight? Like I would literally sit at my own sold out show and question if anyone was showing up. So the pressure is so much more, whereas if you're opening, it's so easier. Like this isn't my show, I just get to go and perform in front of a bunch of people, and great, if they like me, cool, if they don't, whatever. Headlining is so much more pressure, but it's also so much more fun because it's your own tour, and you have meet and greet, you get to meet everyone, and it's like your tour. So the pressure is just 10 times more, I would say, on the headline, and opening is so fun too, but it's a lot easier. Your set's only 30 minutes, whereas on the headline it's an hour, which is like a lot more tiring. It's a lot later, so they're really different, but I love both. Like I would die to do another like great support tour. You are exposed to like new listeners and get to build and grow, and it's so fun. So I love them both, but they're both very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any things that you do every day where it's sort of like, okay, in the morning, I make sure I go for like a 20-minute walk and that keeps me grounded, or I do an eye mask or something? Like, do you have any of those little things that like kind of keep you on pace throughout tour, or you're just like, I'm an animal? Yeah,
I'm just kind of like every day is different. Like I do like eye mask, but I wouldn't call it a daily ritual. Yeah. I'm mostly just like, I try to stay rested, and like I don't really go out or party and stuff. I like to be just like sleeping and healthy, and I like to get like a walk in. Sometimes I'll get like anxiety on tour, and my drummer will take me through like breathing exercises, which can be good because I can get like anxious sometimes. And we'll do like breathing and some meditation and stretching. That can help. But there's no like real ritual. Every day is so different. You wake up in a new city, you're like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Like some days you're dead, some days you're energized. It's just like, it's super exhausting touring, but it's so fun. I love it.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
Do you fly between cities?
Okay, so if the drives are really long, I get really sick. So I hate a long drive. So I'll fly if it's insane. But usually I'll have a tour bus where you drive overnight and then you wake up and you're there.
Oh my God. So you have to sleep on the bus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it easy to sleep on the bus?
So since I'm like the artist, I do get like the back lounge room.
Still.
So I have like a nice-ish room.
That's good.
I actually love sleeping on a bus. It's like very
cozy.
It's so amazing. It's my favorite, opposed to driving all day in a Sprinter and like just waking up early, getting to the city by 3. It's like a lot, and I get so car sick. So I would prefer a tour bus for sure.
Yeah,
they're much more expensive though.
Yep. Mm-hmm. What you mentioned a little bit, like you kind of get anxious and sort of like have some anxiety. Are you open to talking a little bit more about like anxiety and mental health stuff?
Yeah.
Did you always struggle with anxiety?
Like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think that's why I was always so like insecure and cared what people think. So I was just like so anxious all the time and afraid to like talk and like be me. And like I never looked at it as like anxiety when I was younger. I just thought I was so shy and like reserved. But now looking back, I'm like, whoa, I definitely had like crippling anxiety growing up because I couldn't even like talk inside of class. Like I hate it. I literally got an exemption to get called on in class because I was so scared to like talk in front of people. And I had to get I had to get like a doctor's note saying like you can't call on her because she just like can't talk in front of people. Like I couldn't do it.
Okay, how cool is it that you literally were the kid who had to get medically exempted from speaking in class, and now you perform on global tours?
It's kind of crazy.
That's crazy, Leah.
It is crazy.
That's definitely so cool.
Thank you.
Like, that's so special.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Like, imagine if you could tell little like elementary school Leah that.
Yeah, that's true.
She'd be like, no fucking way.
Yeah, like I always was like, I'm gonna make music in my room, and like I was like, I'm gonna just like never perform live because I didn't think I would ever be able to do it, but I loved music, and I was like, I'll put out songs and like I'll do music, but I'm just never gonna tour because I didn't think I could actually do it. But now it's my favorite part of like the process. So.
Which is so funny because when I think of you as like a songwriter and a singer, but a performer.
Yeah, like
your music videos, everything. Like you are a performer.
Oh my God, thank you.
That's so funny.
And it's really funny to think about that I couldn't get called on in a classroom, but now I do this. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
Like you kind of like took that anxiety and you're like, okay, you're gonna be my bitch now. Like off we go.
Yeah.
Do you ever get nervous to perform or no? Like what before you go on stage?
So nervous every time.
Okay.
I'm definitely but then I get on stage and I'm like having the time of my life.
Yeah.
But before, there's never a time I'm not nervous. Like I am so nervous every time. I don't think I ever won't be. I'm just like my heart's racing. I'm like, oh my God. But then I get up there and I'm having fun.
And it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. I'd be curious, what's your favorite song to perform and what's your favorite to listen to?
Favorite to perform. I love obviously 10 Things because everyone knows it. Even if it's like not my tour and there's thousands of people in the crowd, I can just hand the mic to the crowd and everyone's singing it. So that's really cool, obviously. And it's just so crazy and everyone screams it. I also love singing Hot All the Time. That's one of my favorites. Just like, I don't know, that's like, I think that's like my favorite song. I just love it and I like connect with it so much. And then favorite to listen to, I'd say probably the same too. Like my favorites live are my favorites to listen to. I do love Hot All the Time and 10 Things. And Happy I also love to listen to too. It's just like a fun
your new song.
Yeah, my new one.
I love it.
Thank you.
What's your songwriting process?
Usually I start with like an idea or concept or a title. I'm like, oh, I have this weird title or I have this note that I wrote down. Like, let's turn it into a song. And then we'll like find a production vibe and then just start writing. Fantastic. But it always starts with the idea or concept. I'd say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you work with the same producers or you kind of?
Pretty much, yeah. Like I have like 3 that I work with really closely and that do like most of my music. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my final question for you, and I ask this to all my guests, it's like a cute little heartwarming question. What advice would you give to your 16-year-old self?
16-year-old self. I'd be like, stop caring so much what people think. Because I really cared. I was so insecure when I was growing up. I couldn't even like raise my hand in school. I couldn't talk. I was like a mute. Everyone would come up to me and be like, say your name, because I was just so quiet. Like I couldn't talk. I thought everything I had to say was so stupid. I cared so much about what everyone thought, and that just like doesn't matter. So I'd be like, get over it. Like no one who gives a fuck what that person next to you thinks. Just like do what you want and stop caring so much. And I'd tell myself to start releasing music way sooner than I had started, because I was really insecure and I really cared what people thought. And I just don't think any of that matters. Now I'm like the complete opposite. I don't care what anyone thinks, and I like to just do me all the time, which sometimes doesn't work in my favor. But
it's working. It's working right now.
Thank you.
Keep rolling with it.
Oh my God. Yeah, and more advice I would give myself is if you don't ask, you'll never know. So just go. Yeah. Go get it.
I love that. Well, thank you, Leah. Thank you so much for coming on to Definitely Not Funny.
Thank you for having me.
It's so fun to have you.
Thank
you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Bye. Did you laugh? I didn't.